Welcome back to Wall Again, where passion meets music, and today we are continuing our countdown of the top 100 classic rock albums as per Classic Rock magazine. We're up to number 77 today, and it is of course the debut album by Boston, a band from Boston no doubt, and this is an absolute classic album in my opinion. Probably could consider this AOR, melodic rock, classic rock, but I think it's an absolute staple for anyone that likes guitar orientated rock music. So on this one here, Tom Scholz was the brainchild behind this whole band and album. So Tom essentially put the band together. He recorded most of the instruments on all of the tracks, with the exception of the drums, which were recorded of course by Seb Hessian, and the vocals were provided by Brad Delp. We also had some bass parts from Fran Sheehan, and Barry Goodrow plays guitar throughout this whole album, and Barry also plays the solos on Long Time and Let Me Take You Home Tonight. But apart from that, all the other guitar solos are recorded by Tom Scholz, written and recorded by Tom Scholz, I should say. So this album essentially was the brainchild of Tom Scholz, as I said. He wanted to go for an album that sounded immaculate. He had all these ideas for songs that he had been working on. He was studying at MIT and he was an engineering student. So he knew how to basically build a studio in his basement, which is exactly what he did to record this album. CBS got a hold of the demos and then they wanted to produce the album. So John Boylan was brought in as producer. John Boylan, of course, worked with the Eagles and many other famous acts throughout the 1970s. But yeah, that was to bring this debut album, Boston, into the market. So it was CBS and Epic Records on this one. I think it's an absolutely classic album from start to finish. No skips on this whatsoever. It starts off with one of the most famous classic rock songs of all time, More Than a Feeling. If you haven't heard this song or you're not aware of it, you must have your head in the clouds, because if you like classic rock or guitar, this song is an absolute staple. I know in America it was absolutely huge. Probably not as big on this side of the pond in Ireland and the UK and Europe, but it certainly is one of those songs that if you listen to rock radio, especially classic rock radio, it's one of those songs that always turns up. Then it goes into a song called Peace of Mind, which I think is amazing. It's got a great riff at the start, and then just great lead guitar as well. Tom Scholz on this, he layers his lead guitar. So similar to like the Eagles, Wishbone Ash, Thin Lizzy, bands like that, and then later on Iron Maiden. Tom was a big fan of harmonising guitar parts and layering them on top of each other, and he does that extensively throughout this album to great effect in my opinion. The third song is a bit of a prog track in my opinion. There's a lot of keys, a lot of organs, and there's a really, really long intro. The song is in total 7 minutes 48 seconds, but the first half of it is a section called Foreplay, and then it comes into the rock song Long Time. But I think it's an absolute classic prog song, and even though a lot of prog fans mightn't consider this a prog album, there's still elements of prog in this album in my opinion. Again, like I say, Barry Goodrow recorded the guitar solo on this one, and it's absolutely fantastic. So Barry just showing as well, he was no slouch when it came to lead guitar. Fourth song is Rock and Roll Band, which is one of the shortest tracks on the album. Another absolute classic. They knock it out of the park on this one. And then Smokin', again, another brilliant song. Got a great riff and a kind of an odd sort of a feel to it. But again, I think it absolutely kills it on this one. Hitch a Ride is next, which is a little more easygoing, not as heavy maybe as the other tracks, not as many guitars layered, but still a very, very good song. Then there's Something About You, and it finishes off with Let Me Take You Home Tonight, which is of course written by Brad Delp. So in my opinion, this album is a 10 out of 10, no skips, and I think you should listen to this if you haven't heard it before. This is number 77 on the list. So please hit the like button. If you could also subscribe and leave a comment down below, let me know what your opinion on this album is, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.